Welcome to the final episode of the first season of the Black Music Collective podcast. If you've been tuning in, you know by now that the Recording Academy and EBONY joined forces to celebrate Black music with a new dynamic 6-episode podcast series entitled The Black Music Collective. This season, the podcast has brought you some of the top creators and business leaders in Black music, including Lee, Jeff Alston, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis, and more. If you have listened to previous episodes, I encourage you to do so if you haven't. Okay, great. I am your host, MC Lyte, and joining us today is Estelle. Estelle's climactic rise from local West London MC to a Grammy award-winning international artist is a story of legend. As a recording artist, Estelle has released 5 solo albums and countless features and collaborations that have crossed multiple genres and generations of artists. On the heels of her acclaimed 2004 debut, The 18th Day, Estelle soared to international prominence on 2008's Shine. The lead single, American Boy, featuring Kanye West, won a 2009 Grammy in the category of Best Rap Sung Collaboration. She released the follow-up, All of Me, in 2012, and the single Thank You received a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Performance. 2015's True Romance yielded the anthem Conqueror. Guest starring in a popular episode of Fox's Empire, it stood out as one of the show's highest charting songs and fueled the original soundtrack to a #1 spot on the Billboard Top 200. Estelle's 2018 release, Lovers Rock, represented a full circle moment for Estelle, dedicating the entire soundscape of the album to those initial Caribbean and African sounds that originally influenced her, while simultaneously communicating the universal narrative that love is possible. Please welcome Estelle. Hey, it is so good to see you today. Again, no. This is wonderful to get a chance to talk to you. You know, we've had opportunities to hang out with one another and kindred spirits. That's all I can say. And thank you very much for feeding a sister when you feel like whipping out your chef skills. Thank you. So let's get right to it. You were born the second of 9 children in a strict religious Senegalese Grenadian family. So you learned early to escape life's daily pressures through music, which many of us do. Growing up, you were influenced by African music, gospel music, reggae music, dub music, all of which have played an integral part in developing your music today. So can you talk a little bit about your upbringing and how you got started?
Yeah, we were quite insular. Like my mom and my dad and my stepdad at the time were really focused and clear about the fact that none of their kids was going to be outside or, you know, like in any kind of trouble early in life, period. Mm-hmm. So we had to fall in line, and a lot of it was church-based. And so, you know, we go to aunties or we'd be at grandma's house and you hear other music, and then you'd be in my mom's house and my stepdad's house and it'd be gospel. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that was where I kind of honed and learned a lot of the different styles of music, and also kind of established my personal energy on it. Like I was like, you know what, I realized that as long as the music's good, that's all that really matters. From jazz, Nina Simone, Ella Fitzgerald, all the way through to, you know, Duran and pop at the time. So like, as long as it was good, that's literally was the ethos. And then it was 9 of us, not at once, but as it went along. And, you know, like we were our friends, we were our football team, we were our gang. So, you know, it was quite insular. And so you learn to take, you had thick skin early. I had thick skin early because I'm the second oldest, but I'm also the oldest girl. So I was kind of middle childish, but also I was the leader. So it's a weird little one for me. Like I had a bunch of weird little anomalies going on in my head at all times. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, to be influenced by all of those genres matter because it's an amalgamation of what makes you. So with your albums, you have you've been able to expose listeners from all walks of life to a myriad of ideas, influences, and sounds from across the globe. This has led to you becoming a respected curator and tastemaker. And this curation has evolved into concerts, event activations, and curated playlists. The former reached a new height with Estelle's first ever dance hall and Afrobeat link up presented by Estelle at Essence Festival in 2019, which was a fantastic, fabulous event. I understand it was the first sold out event at the festival. What made you want to do this, and how did it feel to be the first to bring reggae to the festival?
Well, we have been like banging down their door for like 6 years to try and get that event going. I realized it was a thing. I've done Essence Festival almost every year since I've been in the United States, since 12 years. So close to 8 to 10 years of doing Essence. And I think about the second year in, I realized that there was a big old gap, that people loved reggae music. They weren't getting it because Essence is primarily R&B. But just because you like R&B doesn't mean you don't like reggae. It doesn't mean you don't like African music. And as it was starting to build and bubble, I would be putting African songs in my shows, and I would jump in the crowd and go wine with people. And that wasn't really done at Essence because, like people are like, go on stage, stand on stage, perform, get off the stage, go backstage, and no one sees you. And that's it, right? Meanwhile, I was there like, let's go do some rum shots. Come on, everyone, let's go have fun. So I realized that that's what people wanted, and the feeling and the joy that they got from it as much as I got from it. I was like, no, there's something here. So after 6 years, Essence were like, okay, cool. How you want to do it? And then we were like, let's make it happen. And let's make it go. And to say that it sold out first is an understatement. It sold out the fastest. It was such an overrun event. We kept getting people like, yo, and we were like, we don't have any more tickets and we're at capacity, but stick around, but see if we can sneak you in. It was that kind of energy. And I felt so grateful, and I felt happy to be able to do it for people in the scene, and especially in New Orleans, which is like a second home to me. I love it there. It's one of my favorite places in America.
Whoa. Okay. Well, go ahead and let us know. I just want to say, for being in the business as long as I have, and I've come from, I call it the Caribbean community, right? So I was one of 2 American families on my block. And so everybody was from, Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, Barbados, Bahamas, you name it. It was this melting pot. And so for many years doing hip hop on stage, I'd scream out because I call myself a fake and Jamaican. Yeah.
Okay. You're honorary Jamaican. You're honorary.
Okay. So I would yell out to the crowd, where's my Caribbean folks, and you get hands here and there. When I perform within the last, 6-7 years, when I perform, it's literally like Caribbean blood runs through rapid in the audience. It's like, oh my God, where's all my Caribbean folks? And it's like 90% of the people put their hand. Yeah. So y'all are representing, and I love that. I love that about, music in general. There's no color line. So we're able to, move to and fro and about. So you have also ventured into the world of animation. Estelle's voice, yours, is a lead character by the name of Garnet on Cartoon Network's Emmy-nominated hit show, Steven's Universe. Given the cartoon world another superhero of color, the show has received critical acclaim for its music, themes, and characterization. It opened up to a completely different audience, you. And so how did that all come about?
Oh, so in like 2012, I kept saying to my team, well, before 2012, I kept saying to my team, I want to do a cartoon. It was selfish because I wanted to do it because my nieces and nephews at home were not hearing my voice, and I didn't like it. And I was like, no, they're all being born, and I just want them to have Auntie's voice to hear. And it was purely selfish. And so, I get a call from my agent, like, hey, is this cartoon? Do you want to do it? And I was like, yes. Well, hold on. What's it about? Right. And so they tell me, and I was like, I can relate. I can relate. She's a big sister type, or she's like a, take care of all the people type. She has to protect, and she does it with love. And I was like, oh, that's easy. I could do that. And then the more the character started building and developing, the more I heard about it, the more I was like, oh, this is going to be groundbreaking for a lot of people. And they didn't tell us the characters' arcs or anything. They just let us read the lines and then be like, yeah, surprise, FYI, boom. It's huge. It's a very big. It's hugely inclusive of the LGBTQIA community. And aside from that, it just makes people look at life in a different way, and explains love, and explains empathy, and explains common sense, and explains inclusion in a way that it shouldn't be so difficult. Like in a way that isn't difficult for people and parents to be like, okay, if I don't know what to say, because you'd be surprised, people still don't know what to say. Here, go watch the cartoon. And I let my nieces and nephews and all my friends' kids watch it, and they're like, oh, my days, and the crystals, and Period's got one, and your character's got 3 eyes, and they're so enamored and so excited about just the cartoon of it all. Right. It's beautiful to watch, and then they're getting explanatory and empathetic messages, and to me, that's what we want to give the kids. I'm just honored to be a part and an ally in that space.
So let me ask you this: are you using? It's so funny. Are you using your accent? No. Are you speaking in your native accent with the cartoon? Oh, okay. Like, right. Yeah. So do you have an American accent?
That was part of the whole part. They were like, I feel people say I have, and I'm here like I don't hear it. I don't hear it. I don't know where people are going with it, but like, sure. I have that Madonna accent. You remember when Madonna got married to Guy Ritchie and we couldn't tell if she was English or American? Where it was just that's what I'm going with, because at this point I just have an Estelle accent, and it does. When I go home, everyone's like, you sound American. And I'm just like, I haven't been here for 12 years and I've been learning it also. And when I'm here, people are like, say that again. It's too English. And I'm just like, I give it. I'm here and I see it.
English. That is hilarious. I'm so happy that you are here with us today. We're going to take a break. P&G sponsored this series, and they did so because of the importance to them on focusing on Black creatives. They have recently started a new program that aims to broaden the way Black people are portrayed in advertising and entertainment through an increased investment in Black directors, actors, crews, and media. Let's take a look at this clip.
If you've seen this before, if you think you know what happens next, ask yourself why. These are the Black stories we've been shown. But there's so much more to see. The full picture of Black life. Let's widen the screen so we can widen our view.
Wow, it's always incredible when I see it. As a woman who has accomplished so much, and you have a successful career and definitely an inspiration, and could definitely be considered what you do, widening the screen. What advice would you give to young girls who want to follow in your footsteps?
I would say find your core, find the thing that you love the most, and ask for that, and go for that, and train for that, and move for that. Everything else will kind of come into focus and come into play to help you along, but find the thing you love the most. It could be the same thing as your friend. It could be something completely different. Don't judge yourself. You're made uniquely. This is exactly what it's meant to be. Don't get caught on the catchphrases of the time, because the catchphrases of the time consistently change. Find the thing you love the most and just work at that. And then find another thing you love the most, work at that, because guess what? You can do anything you want. you know? So yeah, that's what I would say. It's okay. Just do it. Live your best life.
I love
It's a
that.
good time.
I love don't judge yourself. That's really important. So outside, because so many other people are doing it for us. Like so many people are judging us already. Why be so hard on oneself? So outside of creating music,
I won't do it.
oh yeah, right. Outside of creating music and performing, I know you're a member of the Recording Academy's Black Music Collective, whose main focus is to amplify and elevate Black music creators in the community and in the industry. Can you tell us a little more about that and the work that you put into the collective?
Well, I'm just excited that the collective exists. I think we've screamed for so long to make sure that we have a relevant voice in a space where we shouldn't have to scream, because all music kind of starts with Black music. So, I'm just happy that the collective exists, and it exists now in this space and in this time to draw attention, to put into practice programs, to bring to focus people who are doing the work on different levels and different tiers that may not get the information may not be trickling down to the Grammys that, hey, this is a really good thing that we should be supporting and heralding at the Grammys, maybe create a new category for it at the Grammys. Because when you look at the disparity between different genres, I want to say the black music genres have the least amount of categories, which is unfair to me. So I'm glad that it exists, and I know it's under new leadership, so new change, and things are moving differently now. It's all a step in the right direction. Let's go, keep it going. I'm just proud to be a part and happy to lend help where I can.
I agree. I am so happy that it is here too. It is long been anticipated to have a group of people who are in the mix, making things happen. Yeah. At the top of the pandemic, you started the Estelle Show on Apple Music. Mm-hmm. The show has garnered rave reviews, and you have had some of the top talent on the show. I mean, I haven't been asked to be on, but
it's coming. It's on the way. Don't worry.
I'm ready whenever you are. You recently won a Gracie Award. Congratulations, my sister, which is a pretty big deal. And the show is so new. But what do you think has been your key to success with your show?
Again, just the things that we love are the things that we highlight. The people that we feel like we need to make sure that their legacy is carried on, and the people know this music, youngins know this music going forward, is what we highlight. The thing we stay focused on what we love, and we're open and open, our arms wide open to the next generation. But we also know that there's something to the generations before and the generations presently that need to be celebrated. Mm-hmm. And we won the Gracie for our Labor Day, Caribbean Day weekend episodes. And so I was super honored just off because it's something I believe in. That's my background. That's what we grew up doing. This is, as soon as I moved to the US, I went to Labor Day Parade. Like I found, I went to Labor Day Parade. I found all the Black events, and I was like, I'm there. And, Labor Day reminded me of being home at Notting Hill Carnival. I went to Caravana. I went in the first year of me being here. So I found my people, and I hold to my people, and I big up and celebrate my people, African music, West Indian music, wherever I can. And so to win for those episodes was a huge thing. So that's what we do on the show. We believe in what we believe in, and we support what we support, and we move. We lift up where we lift up. And so that's it. And I'm grateful. It's a huge expansion for me, part of my expansion. Something I've always wanted to do. So I feel honored,
Thank you. Yeah, congratulations. That's a huge feat one. So congratulations for that. So what is next for you from a music perspective, and what can people expect?
I have new music coming. I know everyone's always like, when, and then it just drops out of the clear blue sky. It's coming. I just needed to wait a minute till things kind of calm down just a little bit as far as the world, and give people space and time, and give myself space and time to release, to put everything I want to put in it. I don't believe in Russian music. I don't believe in, I need to put something out because I need to follow up with it. I'm like, when it's ready, you know, be there. It'd be great too. Don't worry about it, you know. I really look at people like Stevie Wonder as the reasoning for me. Like, okay, and whether it was a different time or era, when he put records out, you cared about them. When he put them out, they were solid bodies of work, even if you didn't understand them. They were very solid. So now I can come back and listen to a Stevie album and be like, oh, you know, and I can hear like one of his most obscure albums being sampled 3 and 4 times by Pharrell, by Tyler the Creator, you know, like all patterned afterwards. I want to make music and make music like that, you know, like where people can come back and be like, well, hold on, because this album didn't get too much fire, but look, you know, and it inspires generations. So it's coming very soon, and more TV, all the things, you know, lifestyle. We're expanding in ways, you know. Expanding sideways, not just upwards. We're going this way too.
I love it. You know, you coming from across the pond and being able to come here and set up shop and, you know, and build an enterprise and be able to do all things that you love and that you're passionate about. It makes all the sense in the world. And so we are extremely blessed to have you here in this country. So you have definitely had some great accomplishments in your career, and you have such a bright future ahead. But when it's all said and done, and you look back at your career, what would you like your legacy to be?
Oh, that's hard. Because it's ever evolving. I want people to say no whenever they hear my music. Well, whenever they hear my music, oh, I love that. I know that song made me feel a certain way. That song made me change my life in some way. When they look back at everything else I do in media, I want them to say, well, yeah, she did it. You can't tell me no. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. It still exists. Because, you know, there's I look up to people like you as well. There are so many things that you've done, even in the voiceover space, where I'm just like, well, like it, you can't tell me no. You know, and I want that same legacy to me. No, it's so serious. I want that similar legacy where it's like, yeah, you can't tell us no. I think that everything is a building block. As much as we're successful, we're not that far ahead of, you know, all the things that have held us back, from white supremacy to ourselves, to say that it's a clear shot yet. So everything we do is a stepping stone for the next generation. And I just want to be, you know, a good stepping stone, not one that throws us back some. So that means me being as brave as I can and embracing everything, but also taking care of myself and doing the things that I want to do, not just the things I have to do. You know, so I want my legacy to look like, yeah, she did the things she wanted to do and the things she had to do, you know, but most of the things she wanted to do. And they were good. And they were really good. Right. And they were really good. They were really good. I love it. Well, I'd like to thank my guest today, Estelle, for sharing her journey with us today. Again, this is the Black Music Collective podcast.